Hey guys, Vanity, Ezel back with Card 5 Vanguard, as in the Vanity weekly review. So if you guys enjoyed, don't like, comment, subscribe, and this is Shelby. This time we're covering more reviews from set 4. We have another new Destin one coming up with Equilibria. I know that's not how you pronounce it, but that's how I'm going to auto-pronounce it for the rest of my life. And we also have some nice support cards as well for other decks. Let's get this started, shall we? First up, we have Gold, Samek Dragon, Grade 3 Genetic Restore, 13k base, 15k base. Such a cool looking card for, of course, what they shove on the generic skill. Why do they always do this? Why do they shove the generic skills onto the cool looking cards? Anyways, continuously cannot be ridden, and if you have not used Divine Skill this fight, it cannot attack. And then auto rear guard when it attacks until end of battle. For this unit gets plus 2k for... Yeah, this unit gets 2k for each of your set orders in your order zone. Okay, cool. Adds numbers. It's nice for Velstra. We don't know what the new Brantgate Divine Skill does yet, so honestly, that could be really good. I don't know why, but me seeing this card immediately made me realize, wait, this is the one time Zorga and Orphis has not been even, because every time one of them gets an evolution, the other one gets an evolution. When they both got Dead Sea and what was it called? Dalmius Orphis, they both got a new one. When they both got Masquez, that was a thing. This is the only time Orphis didn't get one. I'm curious why. Either way, though, 2 of tech, maybe it brings up the light though, the Orphis card. Then we have Gravidia Ekabe, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, AK base, auto rear guard when she attacks with boost. If you have a grade 3 grade advantage when dueling its card name, energy blast 3, so after 2 meteors from your hand, shove them into order zone. If you put for each card put, she'll get 5,000 power for that battle. Okay, cool. There's a way to increase your meteors pretty easily, and it's an 13 to 18k booster. And honestly, without, to my memory, nothing in Nordlinger herself costs energy. So honestly, pretty solid grade 1 support card. It's not amazing, but like it's not bad either, so I'm going to give it like the 2 over 3 of. And then we have Dangerous Juggler, a grade 1 boost, 5k shield, AK base, auto when she's placed on rearguard circle, choose a grade 3 or grade or so largest from your drop zone. Bot deck, if you do, check top 5 for a Tilligan card. It took me 5 minutes to realize what Tilligan actually was. And then reveal it, put it to hand, shuffle deck. If you put a card, choose a card from hand, discard it, it gets 2k for the turn. Okay, so Searcher for, in my opinion, the worst of the supporting grade 3s with a 10k base. Listen, I like this card skill, but like... I hate that grade 3 so much more, so I gotta give her like the no on this one. Then we have Skill for Entertainer, grade 2 and 5k shield, 10k base. All in place on rearguard circle. If your vanguards are grade 3 or grade or so largest, counterboss 1, shove 3 cards from your drops on the soul. Okay, that's just incredible. Like, if they did not name restrict this card would be busted, because that's just CB1 Soul Charge 3, which, or not Soul Charge 3, I have to mention that because Brainwash is a thing, but... Wow. Okay, again I say, they could have just made an entire set 3 when set 3 happened. They could have just supported all the DZ's deck start bosses instead, but honestly, if we had to wait this long for a card like this, I'm fine with that. I mean, again, just CB1 Soul Charge 3 from drop, so cool. 3 over 4 of an Orso Large, just because. Then we have Blue Death Star, Stab of Helfin, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, AK base. Auto rear guard when it boosts with Blue Death Star until an about this unit. You may have this unit get, not a mandatory, but you may have it get continuous rear guard and about that it boosts. When your opponent will call cards from hand to guard circle, they must call 2 or more at the same time. And then if you did not, at the end of the battle, retire this unit. Okay. What I really love about this card, this thing does not require anything from the deck's playstyle. At all. It does not require you to have set orders. It does not require the specific starter and soul. It doesn't require you to be at a grade 3 or greater. It doesn't require the opponent to be at grade 3 or greater. My point is this. If you really wanted to, you could make a full aggro deck intended to draw this thing in the early game, mulligan like hell for it, and then rush the ever-living fuck out of your opponent when you go first or second. Stab the Hellfin is never going to be used that way, but if someone has the balls and the audacity to do it, go do it at a tournament level, and if you win any game with that plan in mind, come to me. I really want to see it happen, especially if you actually win pulling off that play. Anyways, Stabble is just a nice grade 1, I guess, for, you know, forcing out guard power, at least on the resetting Vanguard attack, so it is what it is, so 3 over 4 of. Then we have Blue Death Star, Sebe, Malamakar, grade 2 and 5k shield, 10k base, auto when placed on rearguard circle or discard from hand during your Vanguard's ability, during your turn for your Vanguard's ability. Energy Blast 3, choose a strategy card from your drop zone, add it to hand. Okay, cool. Multiple ways can go off. You can place it normally. You can discard it via normal Avant-Garde's effect. You can discard it via Victor's effect. Just a free strategy card back to hand. The first game I did that ability, I messed up with it, not realizing I had a strategy order to hand, but ways to recycle Riot deck, which is nice. And then auto rearguard when it attacks a grade 3 or greater Vanguard. When you're a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Avant-Garde's card attacks, this unit gets 5 to the power for that turn. turn. So, I think it's just a la Dragonute, but either way though, 15k swing, which is pretty nice to have, 20k swing, maybe even 25k swing. I really like her pink hair, and I really like she's one of the cards where the pink hair is done well, and I really like how she looks with like her art, like the jacket seems really well drawn, and as I was saying, the part about her attacking an Avant-Garde or Vanguard, even though I was wrong, I thought that would be an interesting thing if they made cards that are like, if you attack this specific Vanguard, do a thing. That would be the living definition of a hate deck in Vanguard. Buddy Fight could technically get away with it when they did like the Dragon Slayer cards, because lore, but I would love to see Vanguard do that one day. Just casually have a deck that's like, if you swing into XYZ, do a thing. But either way, nice card, 4 of, 3 of for Avant-Garde. Then we have Battle Monk of Roaring Flames Taijo. Here's the thing. I was so reluctant to shove this in my deck, like I was with like the Razeo cards, and I still have yet to shove the Razeo cards into my Razeo decks, but what's it called? The Varga deck, when I just shoved these in because I just wanted to, turns out they work really well and fix the one problem I was having with Varga. Board presence. Battle Monk of Roaring Flames Taijo. Great on boost, 5k show, deck base, continues rear guard during turn. If a great 3 get a Vanguard Varga in the card ink, 5,000 power for each of your opponent's rear guard retired this turn. Okay, unless you build your Varga deck specifically to benefit from this, you are only going to be killing 2, maybe 3 a turn. Let me rephrase that. If you're using normal Varga support cards, you're only killing 2 a turn because Varga kills the front row. But like if you build your deck around this, like, it could be getting plus 15, maybe even plus 20, but you really need the plus 10. It's a nice booster for the Vanguard, which is great since, you're just going to swing with the Vanguard later and kill everything. But all around, pretty solid. I wish he got power from both rear guards being retired, but it is what it is. So Taijo's a nice 3 over 4 of. Then we have Twin Pulse Dragon. Okay, we gotta love the moon in the background. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That moon and his, like, double electric spear things here is literally, I now realize there's only one of them. Well, when I thought this was one of them, that's what ultimately persuaded me to shove him in this deck. The spears and the moon. Also like the lightning bolt hat. Anyways, auto, when placed on rearguard circle, if you have a great 3, get a Vanguard Varga in the card name, energy blast 3, check top 5, to 1 grade 2 or lower card from one of them, call to rearguard, shuffle the deck. Okay, cool. Free rearguard gain. The only card in the deck that took up energy in my Varga deck before I put this in was Farheart, who was a nice replacement for this. Weirdly enough, of course, getting rid of guard power helps me make a board easier, but also like Shira, and for some reason, even though I now have more consistency energy usage, apparently Shura goes off more often. Doesn't make sense, but whatever. And then auto when retired from rear guard by the ability of a grade 3 grader Vanguard Varga in the card name. Opponent's Vanguard is also a grade 3 grader. Choose Vanguards get 5,000 power for the turn. And that's why I was reluctant to put this in my deck, because A, the energy blast skill, and B, the fact that it only gives 5k after it's killed when the opponent has to be at grade 3 or greater. So going second or going first, that doesn't do much for you. But rearguard gain, and if they're at grade 3, extra 5k for your restand. So it's not bad. It's not the greatest in the world, but I think it's a 4 in my deck, and honestly, it does really well. And then we have Detonate Bolt Dragon. This thing is so badass looking, and of course it goes to my least favorite Dragon Empire deck, and I will stand by that statement. I am sorry, all of you Gryandra players, but I just don't like that deck. Grade 1 boost, 5 Kishode base at rear guard. If your Vanguards are grade 3 or greater, Gry. Retire this unit, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets continuous Vanguard. During the battle, your unit with Alejandro and its card name attack. When your opponent cannot play Blitz orders from the hand, and when they call cards from hand to guard, so call 2 or more at the same time. Okay, the important part to note is when you back row swing with your Andras, that's going to be, guardable via 2 cards or intercepts. But the Vanguard, because as I've been told, the Vanguard would count towards this skill, your opponent can't Blitz order it, and they got to call cards from hand to guard circle. The way this could have been better is if they just locked out interceptings altogether, because, then your opponent can't just cheat their way through against the back row attack. But hey, is what it is. Detonate Bolt, solid grade 1. Props to the opponents at grade 2, technically speaking, so 4 of. And then we had Demonic Dragon Master Kyoko. Love the return of the name of like the Kagero cards. I remember like all of them were like Demonic Dragon something, and I really love that, like the Demonic Dragon Mage Kimyara, I think it was called, and they were all like snake creatures, and it was good on moves like Kishode base. Honestly, that should be the next ride line. I know that's really off topic, but I really said it was the next ride line for Dragon Empire. Anyways, auto rear guard once per turn when your opponent's rear guard is bound during your turn. Choose one of your other units, and this unit both get plus 5 power for that turn. All around pretty solid. If you're playing any deck that binds, to my memory, that's only Vermilion from Dragon Empire so far. There might be another one, but I just don't remember it. But being able to get 5k to itself and another unit is pretty solid. If it wasn't a once per turn, this card would be even better. But hey, it is what it is, so it's a nice 2 over 3 of. And then we have Panorama, the new order from Mygo, which might be getting support this set. At least a core. Oh wait, no, this is a promo. Never mind. Anyways, normal order to music, 2 arc, same card. They both work. They do the exact same thing. Auto and put on rear guard circle. Energy blast 3, check top 5, choose up to 1. My go unit from among them. Reveal, put it to hand, shuffle deck. Okay, cool. It took me 5 seconds to remember what my go actually does when I first read that card because I was questioning why there was an order on rear. Either way, though, this card's nice. I don't know why. I really like the green-haired one in this art compared to here, but I really obviously like the Starry Night Sky, even if Bushy's last set really just ruined it for me. But hey, they look pretty cool here. So honestly, pretty good card, 2 over 3 of. Then we have a new challenge, Delphelsio. I had to do a double take to make sure I read the word Relation Reaver Peltrug right. And it was great to a 5k show 10k base. I also had to make sure I read the symbols double rare right. Auto when placed on rear guard circle. If your vanguard's a grade 3 or greater Peltra, Energy Blast 3, check top 7. Sorry, let me phrase that. Reveal top 7. If all the revealed cards not named Peltra have different card names, including the triggers, choose up to 1 grade 3 this unit card from among them, call it to rear guard circle, choose up to 1 order card from among them, put it to hand, and shuffle your deck. So get a rear guard, get a hand card. Cool. So tempted to run this at 4 of. I was about to act instinctively safe 4 of. Then I remembered the entire point of that deck, especially with her wording alone, is to have less than, you don't want to see multiple copies of a card. So 2 of, I think, because I think you can afford to run 2s on this deck. I mean, that's what I did, and it only failed once, and it wasn't when I was using it, it was my friend was using it. Then we have Fluffy Anarchist Metal Roll. Oh, that name brings me so much joy. Great on boost, 5k show deck at base. Auto rear guard when your vanguard's placed during your deck from the battle phase. From your deck during the battle phase. Soul Blast 3, draw a card, and she'll get 5,000 power for that turn. Okay, that is such a hefty cost. What cards in Bermuda Triangle, what cards in Lyrical Monasterio superior ride from deck during the battle phase? The only one I can think of is Peltra. That's the only one that comes off from the top of my mind, because I know Lovier does not do that. I know Pacifica doesn't do that. I know for a damn fact Coral doesn't do that. I know Kyrie doesn't do it. I know pretty much all the early Lyrical Monasterio decks don't do it. No. Oh, there's one. Frick, what was it called? The Angel ones. I think Alessio Superior right during the battle phase. I don't think it's from deck, though. Actually, no, they might be from deck. I think Alestios and Peltra are the only 2 that can use this, which is interesting. But, I mean, she's not a bad grade 1. I do like the name. I don't care for the skill, but it is what it is. So, 2 over 3 of. Then we have Knight of Shining Bow Mumia. God, she looks so beautiful. I love the wings, and we all know I'm a sucker for bows, and that's one of the most beautiful looking bows I've ever seen. Great on boost, 5k show deck at base, auto, and placed on rear guard circle. Choose a grade 3 or greater card reserve also its card name from your drop zone. You may put it at the bottom. If you do, look at the top 5, choose up to 1 viral core from your drop zone, or not from your drop zone, look at the top 5, choose 1 viral core from one, then reveal, put it to hand, shuffle your deck. If you put a card, discard, she gets 2,000 power for the turn. Okay. 10k, checks cards. You know what? So I've also calls from drop zone. At least this card's proccable from superior calls from drop, so technically speaking, she could deck them for triggers. I'm not all in for her, but I mean, actually wait, she doesn't deck them for triggers at all, because she has to recycle a Serval, so she's just replacing one grade 3 with another. Never mind, she's not bad, and I love her art, but like that's pretty much as far as I can go with her, so like 2 over 3 of. Then we have Knight of Pitiful Sorrow Grandash, grade 2 and 5k shield, 10k base. Auto placed on rear guard serve, Vanguard's a grade 3 grade to serve also. Check the top card, either put it back on top or shove it to Soul, and if you put it to Soul, he gets 5,000 power for that turn. Okay, wait, let me get this straight. This mofo is free, can be placed from anywhere, by any means, and as long as you have the grade 3 greater Vanguard serve also, you get to check the top card, either stack triggers or get free Soul in a nation that has a bunch of really good generic Soul Blasters. What are with the grade 2s being so good? You know what's funny too? This grade 1 was just saved over the grade 2 from Triumph Dragon. I did not plan on doing deck profiles for these DZ start bosses, but these cards are making really good fucking headway for it, because as much as I don't care for these grade 1s, these grade 2s are the goddamn shit. So 4 of, I guess? And now it's time for our final reviews for the day. First up, we have Blitz Server Kyratrina, grade 2 5k shield, 10k base for the Blitz deck, auto and put on guard circle. If your order zone has 3 more products in it, Energy Blast 3, you'll get plus 20,000 shield for the battle. All around pretty solid because Volster has a lot of energy chargers. I mean, this is literally fulfilled by Urente on its own, and being a 25k shield is pretty nice to have. I wouldn't say that you can run like a free 4 of it, because at least the way I play my deck, it's a little bit space heavy, but you know, it's a nice 2 of or 3 of tech if you can get the chance. Then we have the card everyone's going to run at 4 because of what it is. Blitz Publicist
Fantilcia, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto and discard from your hand during your right phase or main phase. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Ulster in the card name, you may call this card to rear guard. I was about to say when can you discard during the main phase, and then I was thinking in my head it would be nice if this card combo with Stronzer. Then I remembered Stronzer is the card that discards during the main phase. So this card combos well with the card that can search more products. It combos well by just being discarded for ride deck or being discarded for effects that proc from the ride phase, such as what's his name? Such as the grade 2 of the ride line, whose name I'm forgetting so much right now, Uber skill. And then act rearguard. Once per turn, if your Vanguard's a grade 3 or greater of Ultra, Energy Blast through 4. Choose a product card with grade less than equal to your opponent's Vanguard's grade, operate, and the cost of that product's original operate ability is reduced by 1 CB1 to the end of the turn. So this is nice because if you have the extra 4 EB laying around, so it kind of sucks that both these take EB, but if you have the extra 4 EB laying around, you can proc maximum for free, and then, well, you know, you use his normal effect, which is free, but now for the rest of the turn, whenever you want to use maximum's ability to bounce and call it, it's free. What's already pretty solid, Fantilcia is a nice grade 1, she does her job really well. It's a little bit expensive, but this is what Uranthe spamming is for, so 3 or 4 of her, because she's honestly just really good. Then we have our new Dragon Empire line, which looks really cool in terms of quality and looks really cool in terms of skills. Gorilla Dragon, Honor Rotapine for a second draw card, standard starting spell is just a free draw if you go second. Then we have Rocket Devarner Dragon. These are some German sounding names, I only say that because this part sounds German to me. And there's Grid on Boost 5k shield, 8k base, Honor Rotapine by Gatling Kanone Dragon. You may call this card to rear guard circle if you do Soul Charge 1. Okay, so it's stealing Akina's and Now's ride line grade 1 skill. Overcharge continues rear guard, and this unit is chosen by the ability of your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Alakoriba. I'm going to call it Equilibra because that's the only way I'm going to be able to pronounce this safely. In the card name this turn, it gets 10,000 power. So 18k all around is pretty solid, and because the Vanguard gives this unit an extra 5k, it's a 23k booster, which is all around pretty solid because it doesn't require the opponent to be a grade 3 or anything. So just all around a good booster and a powerhouse at that. So honestly, if you want to put it as a 2 in the main deck, you very much can, but this guy calls himself pretty easily and get you soul charges. Then we have Gatling Kahone Dragon. This thing's art is amazing. I love the way this card looks. Its scales look so smooth and not rough at all. It's great. And it's grade 2 instead 5k shield, 10k base. It also has a Gatling gun. Auto wrote upon by a grade 3 card with Equilibra in his card name. Look at the top 3, choose up to 1 grade 3 card from on them, reveal, put your hand and put the rest on bottom. And then if you reveal a card with the overcharge ability, soul charge 1. So check the top 3 for a possible playmaker, and as long as you don't flip a Persona Ride, a PG, or because this can search PGs, I might add, or a trigger, you are most likely getting a soul charge out of this, which is pretty important because our main grade 3 apparently costs Soul Blast 2. Destined 1 of Scales, Equilibra. I do find it funny how he costs Soul Blast 2 because, you know, technically Scales are like 2 things trying to be balanced, so the fact that he's blasting out 2 cards. Anyways, active Vanguard once per turn, counterblast, or not counterblast, Soul Blast 2. Choose 3 of your rear guards, they all get 5,000 power for that turn. Then if you chose 2 or more rear guards with the overcharge ability, you draw a card and he'll get plus 10,000 power. I really love how the fact that he can give any rear guard 5k, and then if you just happen to choose 2 cards with his, you know, namesake ability, then he gets the 10k and draw. But pretty much if worst comes to worst situations and you have soul left over but you only have triggers, you can just bump up your triggers, which is pretty solid. And then Divine skill, act rear Vanguard. If your opponent's Vanguard's a grade 3 or count plus 1, choose 2 of your rear guards, they get another 5,000 power. Okay, so this is how you overcharge everyone. And then if your opponent's damage zone has 4 or less cards in it, okay, there we go. I knew this was gonna have that because there's no way in fuck they were gonna put a divine skill with the damage bumping skill regardless of the damage count. Choose opponent's Vanguard, deal 1 damage, and the power increase of that trigger is lowered by 10,000 power until the end of the turn. So the important part of that effect is if they flip a trigger and they have an ability that increases trigger power, yes, the minus 10k is still applied, but it's like you still get the other power. So that trigger was supposed to give plus 15 for whatever reason, it would give plus 5. So keep that in mind because it doesn't nullify triggers, but I mean, hey, this is a way to pretty much overcharge your entire board, which is pretty solid and makes good benefits out of, you know, whatever you can with the souls. So honestly, pretty solid grade 3 right there. Then we have Drag, whatever. I will say this deck feels like what I wanted Dimension Police to be in D, where they couldn't just power stack back the Vanguard, they power stacked everything consistently. DP, in my opinion, doesn't do that, or at least not to the extent this does. Drag Raider for Ezel, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, overcharge, auto rear guard when it boosts anything. If this unit was chosen by the ability of Vanguard, that's grade 3 grade Libra this turn. It gets 10,000 power for that battle. Okay, that's just a 23k booster. The second grade one in, and we have two 23k boosters outright. Okay, cool. And then at the end of that battle, if you did not countercharge this turn, retire this unit, countercharge one. Okay, cool. The only card we've seen so far with the CB ability is this thing, and I'm assuming one of these two. Okay, let me rephrase that. The only things we've seen with the counterblast ability are this. Never mind. It's just this in the Vanguard. So, cool. 4 of. Why not? 23k booster. I mean, the countercharge isn't needed too badly, but you know, what if we run alternate cards like the Drag Raider from I think set 1, Dabrax, who's CB2 to Soul Charge 1, which honestly might be important because Equilibra's Soul Blast skill. Then we have Panzerstruck Dragon, grade 3 200 personal ride, 13k base, overcharge, auto rear guard when attacks at anything. If this unit was chosen by the ability of your grade 3 or greater Vanguard, the Equilibra and his card name, Energy Blast 3, and this unit gets 15,000 power for that battle. Jesus, and at the end of the battle, draw a card, retire this unit. Oh my god. Okay, so let me get this straight. This thing's going to be an 18k thanks to the Vanguard skill. Then unless you Persona Road this turn, without triggers, he's going to be a 33k swing on his own, with most likely a 23k booster going behind him. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, 4 of this. Jesus Christ. Okay. Wow, they have a lot of numbers going into these next turn. All of these units are consistently like 23k boosters or swingers, and it's insane, but okay, sure, why not? Panzer X4 because he procs when the opponent's at, most of these proc when the opponent's at grade 1 or grade 2. In fact, only this one so far has been restricted to the opponent being at grade 3. Everything else procs while they're at grade 2, so that's pretty solid for aggro. Then we have To Equalize the Scales of the World, such a cool sounding name for a not necessarily good card. Play it by counterblasting 1 if you have a Vanguard with Equilibrium in his card name. Choose any 2 grade 3 less cards with different card names with the overcharge ability from your drop zone, call them to rear guard. God forbid Bushy ever made a grade 1 or grade 2 with this name. Never mind, this is a grade 3 order. They're fine to do that, but the fact that this thing can now turn 2 of your 3 ride deck discards into just straight up plussing just by 1 CB. My gosh, why? Oh, I can't wait to try this out. I think I found my new favorite Dragon Empire deck. This is a 3 of, if not a 4 of for me. Then we have Drag Raider Eat All, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. This card's art is badass as all hell. Auto, there's a Soul Charger. Okay, no, so we do have a CBR. We do have a CBR. Okay, so we have what, 2 CBRs, 3 CBRs for the counter charge ability. Granted, only one of them is once per game, but still. Anyways, auto and put on rear guard circle. If you have 2 or more units with the overcharge ability, CB1, draw a card, Soul Charge 1. Okay, ways to increase soul, then overcharge, continuous rear guard. If this unit was chosen by the ability of your grade 3 or greater Vanguard, Equilibrium and its card name, plus 10,000 power. So no matter what grade 1 you have on the board, unless it's the PG, Aqualibra automatically has a 23k booster somewhere present on the board. Cool. Great. Why not? Let me phrase that. No matter what, they will have a 23k booster on the board, but if this thing's in the front row, it's a 23k swinger. Great. And then our last card is Drag Raider Shell Hub, grade 2 SF 5k shield, 10k base, continues rear guard during your turn if you have 3 moves with overcharge ability plus 5,000 power. Okay, one that doesn't absolutely break this deck's power but gain. It's 50. I was about to say it only gains 5,000 power, then I read the last 2 words of the skill. And then overcharge auto rear guard once per turn when your Vanguard that's grade 3 or greater attacks. When your Vanguard attacks a grade 3 or greater, if this unit was chosen by the ability of your grade 3 or greater of Equilibrium and its card name, stand Energy Blast 3, stand this unit plus 1 power for that turn. If you have enough energy lying over and you have 2 of those in the front row, 5 attacks, 3 of which might end up being, depending on what turn you do that on, aka if you do it on this turn, might end up having, I don't know, a 23k booster behind it. 4 of. This deck is just going to be the deck of 23k boosters, isn't it? Because I can already see it. Okay, well, without further ado, I'm going to have one here, and I'm going to go abuse the ever-living hell out of Zorgas. So I'll see you all then. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join us on Twitch, and don't forget to stand up your Vanguards.